We can read. The time is now. Let's take a look at the schedule.
I thought that show was over. Was on 4 to 6?
NHL Now. Yeah, the time is now, though.
This is different, though.
It is different. And like we said yesterday, Bob, you said it right off the top yesterday. First day back from the All-Star break. It's go time for NFL players. This is the push to the playoffs here. Some notable upcoming dates. You got the Stadium Series coming up here in MetLife Stadium, just less than, 5 feet from our studios here in Secaucus. That'll be fun. Hopefully not too cold. And then everybody circles March 8th on the calendar, the NHL trade deadline. Full coverage right here on the NHL Network. April 18th, final day of the regular season. April 22nd, the real season begins. The Stanley Cup playoffs start. So the time is now. Let's start in the Eastern Conference, Bob. Give me a team that the time is now, right now, to make a move, whether that's up the standings or whether that's make a move, make an acquisition, trade deadline, and hand in hand, go up the standings as well.
Well, I'm going to talk Pittsburgh because I think they have a great opportunity here. The only thing they don't have going is their power play, which is second worst in the National Hockey League. And that's a big sore spot there. They've split up the power play now. They put Carlson and Malkin on the second power play. Are they going to make a move? Well, they're going to have to sign Jake Gensel. That's the move they're going to have to make. And if you're going to win a Stanley Cup, you want Jake Gensel in your lineup. 12-team no-trade contract. They just signed Puljujarvi. He went down to debut tonight, so he's going to debut tonight. Riley Smith is going to get back in the fold. He's got to get hot, or you might as well trade him back to Vegas because he has really not been going in all cylinders right now. But I think they have a veteran group. They certainly have a veteran group here. Guys are healthy. You know, Raquel's been great. Rust is there. You got a great on the blue line. Letang, Crosby's on pace for 48 goals. Malkin's there. You're there to win. Dubas has been brought in for the Stanley Cup to bring the cup back to Pittsburgh. I think they have to make a move. They have games in hand right now. I think if you look at all their numbers, and everybody will tell you around the league, yeah, stats can be for losers, but everything you look at, they're a good hockey team right now on paper, except for their power play. And if they can get that going, they're a dangerous club.
Yeah, like you said, the thing they have going for them right now, they've got 4 games in hand on the 2 teams ahead of them in the wild card. Who's your team in the East that has
All right, I'm going to say a team that has to make a move up the standings right now is the New York Islanders. And they started out with a nice performance against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Last night, they ended up getting the win. There's Matt Barzal, we saw him play well at the All-Star Weekend. I talked to him there. He was like loving Patrick Roy. He looks like he's got a little bit more fire in his belly right now, and that's really big for the Islanders. They need Barzal playing at a high level. They got a 4-game homestand. They start later in the week. They got Tampa, Calgary, Seattle, and the Rangers. They play 5 out of their next 7 games at home. Now is the time for the Islanders because they don't have games in hand. You can see they haven't played as many as the Detroit Red Wings. Pittsburgh has those 4 games. The Devils, the Capitals have 3 games in hand. So now is the time. You got the 4 games at home. You're feeling good. Patrick Roy's had a couple of weeks with this team. They had a big win over the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. Follow it up with a really strong performance against the Tampa Bay Lightning. You got Calgary team that's moving guys out every other day. So take care of business against them, Seattle, and then their rival, the New York Rangers. You get through a nice homestand. Maybe you take 6, 7 of those 8 points. Now you're feeling way better. So for me, the Islanders made the big move. They brought in Patrick Roy.
That is the move.
The time is now for the Islanders.
All right, time will tell on the Eastern Conference front. How about in the West? Give me a team that has to make a move. The time is now.
Well, they made a move. They changed their coach.
Yeah.
The LA Kings.
Yep.
I mean, aren't they sane? The time is now? Yes, the time is now for the LA Kings. What happened to them? They absolutely fell off a cliff here. Yeah. I can't believe that they had to make a coaching change. You look at all the changes that have been made in the Western Conference. Holy smokes, you got to go to Seattle. Hackstall's got the 2nd most tenure of any coach in the Western Conference. He's only got a couple of years, since they got into the league, a few, but come on. So let's look at the season split for the Kings here. They have veteran players. Quentin Byfield is playing well. He's been unbelievable this year. So what is the problem in LA? Confidence is a strange thing. When you have it, you feel like you can just put your stick on the ice and you're going to win each and every night. We talked about the Kings being maybe Stanley Cup finalists. All of a sudden, I don't know if they're going to get in the playoffs. They better find that confidence pretty soon.
It's unbelievable the amount of coaching changes we've had this season. Everybody's trying to do the blueprint of what the Oilers have done. You know, they fire the coach and instant gratification, I guess, and they're in the midst of a 16-game winning streak. Each, who do you have in the West?
Well, it's just a reminder that it's so hard to win in this league and it's so close. I'm going to go with a team that also made a coaching change, the St. Louis Blues. I got to watch them a couple of weeks ago, calling the NHL Showcase, the Sunday game against the LA Kings, of all teams, one of Todd McClellan's final games. Braden Shen ended up winning that game in overtime. The Blues went on subsequently to have really a poor performance against Nashville, losing that one. But the time is now for the Blues. They've inched up the standings under Drew Bannister. Since they've made the coaching change, their power play has been way better. They're getting good performances out of certainly top players like Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou. Pavel Buchnevich has been good. If they can make a push over the next couple weeks, it might give Doug Armstrong a reason to maybe add one or two pieces to the puzzle if he can. He's not trading away young pieces and assets. They had 3 first-round picks last year. The future really is bright for the St. Louis Blues when you think about a lot of good, potentially high-end players coming their way. But they've moved back into the mix now. They're in a playoff spot. Jordan Binnington has played well. They're getting good goaltending from Joel Hofer, the young kid up from the minors this season. So I like what I saw from the Blues, and you know, they got a couple more days off. They don't get back at it until the weekend. 3-game road trip, then 4 games at home. If they can do well in that stretch, all of a sudden maybe Doug Armstrong adds a piece. St. Louis Blues could be back in the playoffs.
All right, time restrictions. We could only do 4 teams. We could have done 30 teams.
That's true.
The time is now for a lot of teams.